before, after, before, after. Bill's not going to be able to bitch at me anymore about my stereo. So yeah, so we're back at Bill's 2008 Ultra Classic that we're trying to get done, that we're going to get done before Biketoberfest, because he's coming down from Michigan with an empty van. Actually, no, he'll probably bring a chopper. Come down to Michigan, from Michigan, and I will present this bike to him at Cackleberry, where we're going to be hanging out for a few days. So I've already started. I already did the Bluetooth in a separate video, because that's a separate thing. It's not really part of this like 6-speaker stereo. It's just an accessory you add on by plugging into the lighter/power outlet, and then just running a 3.5mm male into the aux input of the stereo. This is a totally separate thing, incredibly easy. So you have an older bike and you're not ready to go all in on upgrading audio, you can add Bluetooth pretty effectively and pretty cheaply. So, all right, I've already done one front speaker, because I already had the fairing off when I did Bluetooth. And as I showed before, there's quite a difference. I'll show you on speakers that are off the bike. So there's a stalker out of a 2008 Ultra Classic. Size of the magnet tells you a lot. And yes, even 17 years ago. All right, so there's that. And then there's the magnet off the new one. As you can see, there's a rather significant difference between these speakers. I don't know if that cone is actual carbon fiber. You know, right now my buddy at Hogtunes is screaming at the screen. What are you doing? You're supposed to know about... Hang on. Like he thinks he had a homework or something before I did. So there, look at it. That's carbon fiber. Yeah. So, phenomenal stuff. Giant speaker. These are the new XLs. I don't think they've been out that long. But it's a direct replacement for your stalkers. So you just bolt these in, and then we're going to run 2 amps, actually. One to power, I believe, the front and rears. Or I'm not sure how it's going to work out. There's going to be 2 amps, 6 speakers. We're going to have speakers in the fairing, of course, in the stock tour pack, and the stock location, and then also in the lowers. So when we finish putting this speaker in, then we'll figure out what the process is for amps. Sit rep. Sorry about the fan noise. Second speaker done. Just using the same 3 screws that held the stalker in. This side is simple. Now this side, you remove the horizontal support, which is just the same as this, but it's one of the speaker screws and then a single bolt here. And then you take this one out here, and then this one that was in the side of the radio. There's a hole right there. Actually put your Allen through to take it out. So I got those 2 out, and now there's a replacement bracket that goes here that I guess is for amps. We're about to find out. 2CHSP amplifier mount kit. Oh, open. No, just open up. There we go. This is a lot of box for that. I guess not. Ooh, weird shape. All right, so this is gonna go, sorry, in where the other horizontal one was. Let me figure that out, and I'll be back momentarily. Nope, I'm an idiot. I took the wrong bolt out, so I can put that back in. No big deal. The one that was there. What they were talking about was the other one that held the horizontal, which is right there. So it's even easier. Just find the orientation, which seems to be this, that you're going to put it right back. The magnet from the speaker keeps grabbing the damn thing. So it's going to go right there. And then I guess the amp's going to go here. All right, we're making progress like crazy on to mounting the rear speaker. So what I've done so far, essentially, this is not a how-to video. If that's what you're expecting, I apologize in advance. You're not going to get that from me ever, much less with this, because it is complex. It's not, you know, idiot-proof stuff. The Bluetooth install, that was nothing. But this, you know, you got brackets that mount to the side of your amp, okay, and then another bracket that mounts to those. Really nicely done, though, because then it uses the stock mounting bolts here that kind of slip over. There's 4. You take the front 2 out, the back 2 you loosen, and there's like teeth. Slip over, tighten, and then put those bolts back, and that mounts all this nice and strong. Not Velcro or any of that. It's actually bolted to the whole harness. And then it creates a new place for you to put any accessories. So if your Ultra had like CB, which was here, you take that off, you flip it over, and you mount it down here. The new mounting bracket that came with this has mounts for those. And like a drawer almost for you to slide that stuff in and screw it in. Done, no problem. And then essentially what you're doing is you're taking your speaker outs from your stereo, okay, and using those as input for the amp. So the stereo is making the signal, the amp is taking the signal in, turning it up to 11, and sending it back out. So those speakers are plugged in here, right? This is the bike's wires plug into the input here, which go in and then back out to each speaker. So it's actually the same way the new ones are, right? It's just really nicely done. Like, everything is marked. See, clutch side, brake side, and then of course clutch side, brake side over there. I mean, it's really, really nicely done. So it's not hard. You're just going to take your time, you know. To put it this way, I thought it was going to be a lot more time consuming, so I started it today thinking, oh, I'll just do a part of it, and I'm mostly done. I'm not going to finish it today. I'll finish it tomorrow. I'm just buttoning up and making it nice and clean and straight. As you can see, I just went, you know, and I've got power run, but I still have to pull the dash up so I can run the power harness and the rear speaker harness, because you don't use, you run your own, essentially, rear harness, and then that creates these. So again, the current wires hooked into your speaker go into one of these, and then the other goes into the actual speaker. I just can't get over how nice these are. These are the rears. It's just they're carbon fiber, and I know I shouldn't touch, but they're just really nicely done, you know? So, all right, so I also picked up the speakers that go in there. We'll do that, I think, a separate video just on the lower speakers, because it looks like they're heavy. Like, and there's a separate 225 or what, this is a 400 amp that runs these four, and a separate, I think, 200 or 225 just for those. So and it's an amp specific for the lower speakers. Like this 6-pack setup, XL setup, it's rather intense. So I think Bill's gonna hate it, and that makes me laugh, because I'm sure he's just gonna put on, I don't know, show tunes or what other old guys listen to. I'm saying this on purpose just to make him angry. So, you know, don't think that I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm trying to make him furious. Yeah, okay. I just rocked out to Fairies Wear Boots, and the Amazon guy was walking up right as I did that. So he probably thinks I'm a psychopath, but that's okay. To make a short story long, Bill's 4-speaker stereo is done. Well, I mean, you know, it still doesn't have a face on it. But here's where I am with that. It's raining like hell. Again, South Florida. That's what we do this time of year, is we flood. But I've got Chase from Fairing Exchange coming this weekend on Sunday. We actually decided, I don't know if I've already said this, I apologize for repeating myself. We already decided that they're going to be so busy during Biketoberfest. If you want an inner fairing done by Fairing Exchange, you need to contact them, and probably, I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't show up and try, but it's better to have an appointment, you know what I mean, try and do that. But they're going to have so many fairing swaps at Biketoberfest. Chase is coming all the way down from Jacksonville. He's going to spend the weekend down here in Palm Beach, and he's going to come by Sunday morning and do the inner fairing and the gauges. So I'm not going to put, what the hell am I hearing? I'm not going to put the outer fairing and everything back on when day after tomorrow he's going to take it back off. So that's why it looks like a mess. Why bother buttoning everything up when he literally, like, I could zip tie all these lines and then he comes and I have to snip them all off. It's just stupid. Bluetooth works, 4-speaker stereo works, the fade works, CD player works, AM FM works. It's perfect. The hand, it's Cousin Ed is here. All right, so anyway, so that's all done. Then what I am going to do in a separate video is add the lowers. So this is going to be a 6-speaker stereo, but I know that not everyone's going to do 6 speakers, so I'm going to do 4. So again, this is the Rev 450 4-channel amp and 4 speakers for this generation of bike, which I think goes back to the 90s. Go to Hogtunes.com and you can put in your exact configuration, order the right one, but this thing's freaking badass for a lot less money than a lot of stuff out there. So very, very cool. Now, I guess we'll end this video here, and then I'll do the lower 2. Anyway, take care of each other. Love you to death. Bye.